Welcome back to another podcast episode of The Legal Lounge, where we have Miss Kerensa O'Connell Frazier as the main host. I'm the co-host. My bad, guys.
Oh God, we always start this show so bad.
I think we do great.
I don't think we do. Because when we ends up like this is a terrible start. Anyways, welcome back again. Did you say yourself, Cody? Introduce yourself?
Yes, my name's Cody. I am the co-host.
Oh, okay.
And with your guys' vote, I can become the main host.
No, don't give me off. Anyway, so this week's topic, we're gonna talk about serial killers. Have we talked about serial killers at all in the past episodes? I don't think we have. I don't think we haven't done a lot of killer episodes, just the Alec Murdaugh case. But this one in particular, there's two shows that recently came out. I know
on Netflix, right?
On Netflix, yes. One is a movie that was produced by Anna Kendrick, Woman of the Hour, and then another one that the three of us have talked about is the Zodiac docu-series.
The case of the century.
I prefer docu-series over the what's the word? Yeah, reenactment of something that happened. Because to me, that's kind of boring.
The Zodiac movie versus the documentary. That's what you're referring to, right?
Well, even just the Woman of the Hour too. You know, because I've never heard of Rodney Alcala. Did I say that name? Alcala. Oh God, Rodney Alcala.
Kinda.
No.
What's the name?
Alcala. He's actually from Texas.
Are you sure it's Alcala?
Yes. Alcala. Alcala. Alcala.
Okay.
Anyways.
He's from Texas.
Yes.
There's a lot of. I feel like there's a lot of serial killers from Texas.
Name one.
Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a real person? That's a movie.
It's based off of a true story, is it not?
Really?
I'm pretty sure it is. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was a real thing. Right? Fact check.
I think I've heard of it, but
I'm pretty sure
I don't think that's a serial killer. Is it not? I don't know.
I thought it was.
I mean, I'm sure there's more serial killers just by population size. Because Texas is large. I'm sure there's more murderers out in Texas compared to other states.
All right. So, serial killers from Texas. Dean Curl.
Never heard of him.
A.K.A. the Candyman. Henry Lee Lucas. Angel Resendez, the railroad killer. I think that's the one that killed in the Galveston area. I think so, right?
No, I know what you're talking about. There's a field murderer from
that like
45,
stretch.
right?
45, yeah.
Did you see that documentary too?
No.
That one's a really good one.
I'm never going to Galveston again.
He didn't also kill from. I think he also killed from Sugarland
Mm-hmm.
and from Friendswood.
Oh my God, I've been there before.
Yeah, I've been there too. Yeah.
In the South Side.
And then he would dump it in a specific like field.
Yeah. And there's also Carl Watts, the Sunday morning slasher. Who comes up with those cool names, dude?
Probably Chat GPT. They just sit there and Chat GPT the names. Give me a name for.
Well, even this guy has a nickname, right? His nickname is Dating Game Killer. And the reason why he has this nickname is because
he's probably on a dating game.
Why are you just going to beat me to the punch? Yes, he appeared on a dating show back in the 70s. And he was already committing these horrible crimes prior to that. But he appeared on the dating show. And then we kind of talk about this off air too, is that there's some correlation with some of the serial killers is to their attention seekers, I feel like. To where they kind of plant these little seeds to get attention from the media.
It's a little game for them.
Right. Like it's like, hey, I'm out here doing all this crazy things. Try to catch me if you know that I'm the one that did it. You know.
Run as fast as you can.
Kind of like the Zodiac too. Right? And you watched that show.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. What's the crazy? We'll kind of run us down who the Zodiac is. What did they do?
His name was Alan.
I thought it was Arthur. Was it not Arthur?
Arthur Allen, right? Alan Arthur? Arthur Allen? Whatever. It doesn't really matter. He doesn't deserve he doesn't deserve
This
it.
guy.
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
This big, bulky, bald, like, guy. Arthur Allen. He was a school teacher, I think, at one point. He was kind of like one of those people that everybody thought, he was so gentle and soft-spoken and polite, blah, blah, blah.
I saw that he was like a diving coach, right?
Yeah, he was a national diver or something like that. He was very talented in his younger athletic days. And yeah, he was really, really talented. Like, you wouldn't ever expect somebody like with his body type or his size to be able to do the things that he did, but he was a very talented diver. And that was one of his hobbies was to dive. And he was kind of like this father figure to this family it was just a single mother, and they had a lot of kids. I don't know I think they had 3 kids. 3 kids, and they always referred to him as Mr. Allen. And he was always this guy who, come and take him out in his little drop top convertible car and go out to these different beaches or lakes. And, later on, you actually realize that each one of these locations that he took the kids were also the locations of the murders of the Zodiac. So, and
this is years before, is what you're saying. Before he did the crime that he would take them to the places?
Well, there was, in the documentary, it actually shows, like, one time, one summer, it was probably in the span of a couple years. And one of the summers where he took them, one of the kids remember, like, him coming back into the car kind of, like, panicked, and he had blood on his hands. And they believe that he just committed, a murder right then and there, and, wiped the hands off. The little girl was like, oh my gosh, there's blood on your hands. Do you need help? Blah, blah, blah. And these are all little girls, and he used to drug them. And
because I think that lady even said that she kind of blacked out afterwards, right?
Yeah,
They can't remember.
yeah.
There's no recollection after that.
He would do these things, and he committed this murder. I think there was one where he went to this, like, little canyon, like, far off, this ducked off area where, a bunch of high school kids would go because they know it's, dark and there's nobody really going through there. So they'll go there with their little date and, do whatever they do as high school kids. And that was the first one, walked up to the car, bright lights, probably thought it was a police officer, and, shot them to death. And that was the first one. I think the second one was
Blue Rock Springs.
Was that the first one?
That's the second one.
The second one was Blue Rock Springs.
Yeah, first one was Lake Herman.
Yeah, Lake
Road.
Herman
Yeah.
Road. Yeah, so
same MO on the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, same MO. It was the Blue Rock Springs. Was that also like on a road?
Yeah. So victims were Darlene Ferrin, 22 years old, and Michael Magoo, 19 years old. While parked in a car, Darlene and Michael were approached by a man who opened fire on them. Michael survived with gunshot wounds, but Darlene died at the hospital. Shortly after the attack, a man claiming to be the Zodiac called the police, admitting to the crime and then linking it to the Lake Herman Road murders.
So pause for a second, because y'all both told me about the movie to watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
There was at the very beginning when they did, it was the late night one. I don't know if that's the first one or not, where he killed. The opening scene of that movie is that it plays a 911 call. Do you think that's the real actual recording?
Probably not.
You don't think so?
No, because they wouldn't, if that was the case, then they would, it'd be like kind of like a docu-series.
Because I always thought, because it kind of sounded real. Like
Yeah.
maybe they used a real 911 recording.
No, I don't think so. And to my understanding, I think the first one that he committed, they died. They were
Right.
dead. They died on the scene.
Right.
The second one, I think the guy like survived a little bit and tried to climb to the back, and then I think he finished him off, didn't he? Like he was like outside the car or something.
No. In the second one, he survived. He had gunshot wounds and he survived. Darlene also didn't die in the spot. She died later on in the hospital.
Was the one that survived the one that went on the news and kind of said like, this guy, he had this suit? Was that the one that was in that overlooking the lake and found the couple?
No. That's the third one. That's the
Right.
Lake Berissa attack.
That
where
guy
he-
survived.
Where he tied them up, right?
Yeah,
He approached them.
the guy survived in
Yeah.
that one. Like
Yeah.
he actually survived. I think the second one they both died.
Yeah, Brian survived. Second one, the guy survived. Third one, only the guy survived. And then he left a message on Brian's car detailing the crime, and that's where the Zodiac symbol came from.
Mm-hmm.
From
Yeah.
that little note.
Yeah.
The
The symbol.
we're gonna put it on screen right now.
Yeah.
When did he start sending the letters to the?
I think after the second murder. After the second one, I think he was like, I was responsible.
Mm-hmm.
With
codes,
and
right?
he didn't have
Yeah.
he didn't include
after
his
the second
name.
one.
Yeah, he didn't include his like Zodiac until the third. And he was like, this is the Zodiac speaking.
Mhm.
That's when he first referred to himself as Zodiac. He put the symbol on the car. And he continued writing letters. After the third one, I think the fourth one was the taxi driver.
Fourth one, yeah.
Taxi-
Polstein murder.
Yeah, and that's the,
Polstein 29, a cab
Mhm.
driver.
and he sent in more letters, and he was like, but after the second one, when he sent in the second letter, he was like, this is how it'll be me. I don't know if it was the second or the third, but he ended up sending another letter and was like, this is how that I was the one responsible for these crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, here, I will list a few details. Only I and the police would know. And he gave like time, date, like location, stuff like that, where the bodies were laying, stuff like that. What they were wearing, I think, was one of the actual ones.
Mm-hmm.
What they were wearing at the time of the murder. And then he, continued writing letters and creating these little codes, ciphers, and he would
Mhm.
mail them in. And at this point, when they're at the whole what's it called, the publishing agency or whatever it's called, the newspaper place, they were going crazy. They were going crazy. They're like, this is insane.
Which
this
I
is the
thought that
Zodiac.
was an interesting point for just the difference of generations of how like there's so many people working for these like news reporters.
Mhm.
I mean, their phone was like ringing off the hook.
Yeah,
and,
everywhere was like, if you have any information, everybody's sending
right.
in.
And they're
bunch of stuff.
cartoonists. Like I'm sure there's not a profession that's
Mhm.
called cartoonist anymore because their whole job was to make cartoons and post it in publications of what the crimes are happening and this, that, and the third. So that was kind of the difference of time, like how we communicate throughout the
Mhm.
world. Because now, as soon as you post something on the internet, everybody knows. But
Yeah.
there was a delay, right, back then to where it takes time for printing and then putting it out there, and you have to do it extra fast to make sure it gets out there. Thank you for watching another episode of Legal Lounge. If you enjoyed this episode, you can always give our office a call to schedule your free 30-minute consultation with one of our team members. Check the description below and give us a call today.